It's gift giving season. Joining me now is Hal Weitzman. He's the editor and chief of the Chicago Booth Review. And good to have you on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
So it's gift season, as I mentioned, and that means a lot of people will be spending money on graduations and wedding gifts. So I know you've done some study into what this looks like out in the real world. And what did you find? Do people spend a lot of money or a little money on gifts?
Sure. Well, in general, you might think that people, when they're buying gifts for a relative, a spouse, a close friend, perhaps a son or a daughter, they would always get the best thing they can possibly afford. And the research suggests, there's research coming out of University of Chicago Booth School of Business, that that's not necessarily always the case. So this is called the friendly taking effect. So imagine that you're in a store, Angie, and you're buying a gift for a close friend, and you're faced with two bottles of wine. One is very expensive, very fancy, and the other one is less expensive, but it comes with a free gift. What would you go for?
The free gift.
Well, so research suggests that most people would do that. In other words,
right.
You're not getting the very best thing you can afford for that other person. You're getting something slightly less. And the reason that you're doing that is because you're thinking of you and this friend as a unit. So what is best for the person, for the other person, is best for the unit as a whole.
Well,
so the unit as a whole would benefit. You get the free gift,
right,
and you've saved a bit of money on the wine.
Oh, I was going to give the gift to the person.
Oh, I see. Well, even if you keep the free gift.
Oh, I was going to get. Okay.
So if you didn't keep the gift, you would have gone for the more expensive.
Well, I always heard never give a gift that you would not want to receive. That's how I buy a gift.
Okay.
So that's not what most people do.
Well, this research suggests that if you're giving someone who you feel very close to, that you think of you and the other person as a unit.
Okay.
So you're looking at the overall effect of what is best for that unit as a whole, not necessarily buying the most expensive thing for the other person. And the effect of that is often that you, the buyer, benefits from that, which is why it's called the friendly taking effect. A little bit of taking from those you feel friendliest towards.
Interesting. Now, you also had another study using truffles. How did that turn out?
Yeah, so this wasn't me. This was run by a team including Professor Ayelet Fishbach from Chicago Booth. So they asked people they entered them into a raffle, and the prize of the raffle was that they and another person would get to sample some delicious gourmet truffles, right? Who wouldn't want that prize? And they couldn't share the truffles, but the truffles were going to be distributed. So in one case, they had to choose. Either they could receive 7 truffles themselves, and the other person could receive 3, or they could receive 2 truffles, and the other person could receive 6. Now, the option that they chose depended on how close they felt to the other person. If they felt very close to the other person, more people, 2/3 of people, tended to go for the option where they got 7 and the other person got 3. If they felt not so close to the person, they would take fewer. They'd take the 2 and the other person would get 6. So again, that suggests that overall it was better because there were 10 truffles for the unit, even if they themselves got fewer by opting for only 2 and giving the other person 6.
So bottom line, when you're thinking of a gift, you're thinking of yourself and the other person.
That's right.
Okay, good to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.